Payday 3 is a cooperative FPS video game that is being developed by Starbreeze Studios and published by Koch Media. I've already made a video covering some of the earlier news about the title, and that video still stands as a good starting point. The video will be linked down below if you are interested. Let's break down the updated release, first images, and more. As always, all the sources will be linked in the description below, so make sure to check those out and support those original writers. And with that out of the way, let's get into everything we know about Payday 3. In my last video, I did mention that Starbreeze wanted to enter a publishing agreement for Payday 3, but the board of directors wasn't ready to make any announcement. The news of the publisher was announced in March of 2021. Starbreeze partnered with Koch Media for the Payday 3 launch. The team also confirmed that Payday 3 will launch simultaneously on PC and consoles in 2023, which is updated from the last release window, which was only sometime between 2022 and 2023. The final sentence says they are planning additional content and functionalities for long beyond the original release date. On Twitter, a few additional details were given, one of which is that the game is officially in production and will now be developed using Unreal Engine. We don't know which version of Unreal Engine is being used, but this will be a big update from the Diesel 2.0 engine used in Payday 2. Here's to hoping that the team is using Unreal Engine 5. Either way, this should be a big update in terms of graphical quality, and I'm excited to see how far the team will take the visuals and what's possible in Unreal Engine. I will say some fans are already nervous that Starbreeze is using Unreal Engine, which is owned by Epic Games, so there is fan speculation that Payday 3 will be an Epic Games Store exclusive. There's no rumors or reason to believe this yet. Also, that would be the publisher making that deal and not Starbreeze. I wouldn't worry too much about it yet, but it is something the community is already discussing. Finally, an image was posted for Payday 3, which shows off the 4 player characters. The next big news around this title was given in October of 2021 during a Payday 10th anniversary livestream. Around the 3-hour mark, Eric Wanevi was brought out to discuss the game. If you don't know who he is the game director at Starbreeze Studios. According to his LinkedIn, he worked on pitching Payday 3 in 2020 and is now working on the production since January of 2021, which means the game has probably only been in development for a little over a year at the time of recording. The livestream itself gives a lot of information. Eric describes the story as a continuation of Payday 2, which ended with the 4 main characters retiring from the heisting life. Payday 3 picks up some years later when the original crew is pulled back into the life of crime by powerful enemies. Then we get updated images of Dallas, Chains, Hoxton, and Wolf, all of whom have slight changes from their visual style in Payday 2. Another interesting point that was brought up is how the world has changed since Payday 2. Eric says in the real world and game world, we have transitioned into a more digital age, which changes security and threats the group will face, but will also provide new gadgets and technology for the group that wasn't an option before. And I'm excited to see how far the team takes this concept and how much different the game will feel to Payday 2 in terms of all this new tech. And the final point I want to mention is the location. Payday 3 will be set in New York City. 2 key art images were shown, one of which is the team in the street before they enter the bank. The second image is after the heist. The team is leaving the bank and has to fight their way out on the street. While describing the images, Eric says the team has more to work with using Unreal Engine, and I can't wait to see how the team is able to utilize it when creating these environments, AI, and technology. And when describing the new engine possibilities, Eric said it will allow players to enter a living and breathing fantasy of New York, and we will see it flip into chaos and react according to our decisions as a heist crew. Once again, the game was confirmed as releasing sometime in 2023. I have to say there are such high expectations for this game, and I really think the team is going to nail it. Either way, that is all the updates around Payday 3 since my last video. I'm sure the team will release more information sometime this year, but I would not expect to see any extended gameplay until next year. It's always safe to assume a late 2023 release, And that's where I'm going to end this video, and that is everything we know about Payday 3. Make sure to like and share, subscribe for weekly gaming news, and I will see you guys in the next one.